Welcome to Irish Footy Vlogs, and today is the first, I suppose, review show of the season, isn't it, Cian? A bumper weekend. We had 8 games, Premier Division, First Division. One home win, by the way, out of the 8 games, incidentally, which is interesting. But I suppose we'll get into the Premier Division first, and I'll go through the results anyway at the weekend. So we had Derry City 0, Sligo Rovers 2, Coughlin McFadden there. Dundalk 1, St. Pat's 1, Hooban and Benson. And then we had Shells 0, Waterford 1. John Martin got the winner there. Rovers 3, Finn Harps 1. Byrne, Watts, McAniff and O'Sullivan for Harps. And then Cork City 0, Bohemians 1. Andrew Wright got an early goal there. We'll start off with Derry and Sligo, as it was the very first game. Did you see that game, Cian, yourself? And what were your opinions on it? A bit of a surprise result?
I was lucky enough. I've seen all the games over the weekend.
Yeah.
The division. Sligo played very well. They were on the front foot from the start of the game. They played football. Like I says, I did expect them to play football. They went and they played some fantastic stuff. They were a much better side. They could have at least been 3 up at half time easily. They just, from the front foot, from the first whistle, they looked up for it. They looked like they wanted them more. I think the result is obviously a little bit bad for Derry. I can't, like, no fan is going to want to lose to Sligo, especially after the start of the season they've had, you know. But especially 2-0 at home, it's kind of like they rolled over as such. They're gone through the motions, the players, and you know, after Devine coming out and speaking, and like it was mayhem. He came out and spoke, and it wasn't mayhem, and he was kind of looking forward to it, and then to go out and put up a form that's very good. I could definitely see a lot of fans very discontent, which makes obviously tonight's game versus St.Patrick even more important now than it ever was. But I'm not taking anything away from Sligo. They bossed the game from start to finish. Played some fantastic stuff. I don't think the 2-0 scoreline does it justice, to be honest with you. I thought Sligo were easily and well-deserved winners, and you know, it's a credit to them now. They're going to go into the game now, especially at home. Yeah,
do you think some of the stuff during the week played into the Derry play as such?
Yeah, it was. It's kind of like the 2-0 signings and stuff like that. It's kind of like they were thrown together, if you know what I mean. And it was kind of all a little bit rushed, and you know, I just feel for Derry now, and obviously we're going to speak about it later on tonight's game, but tonight's game is massive for Devine and Derry, and I really think they need to get a positive result tonight, and I think a draw will be positive.
I think the biggest thing from Derry's point of view, maybe from Devine's point of view, because he seemed to suggest it as well, that the level of effort and work rate wasn't there. And let's be honest, from us looking at it, like, it didn't look like it was there. And that's the thing you look at first of all in any match, and the thing that's going to disappoint a manager in any match the most. If the level of commitment and work rate does not match or even come close to matching what Sligo put in, then you're in a hiding to nothing. Because we've said it before, if you play like that in this league, you're losing to anybody.
Not even that. It's just like Derry City are a football club. Every football club, every fan, every manager just demands hard work and effort. That's all we ask for as fans. All the manager can ask for. But if the attitude and everything isn't there, there's something wrong. It's extremely worrying, because you know it's not nice to see either. And Derry have had, you know, Derry like the players that play there, they love the club, and it's a big cultural club. Like, everyone buys into it, but for some reason I don't think the players have bought into it yet, and it is worrying for Derry fans, because a couple more results like that. There's only a couple of games left when you think of it. A couple more results like that, they can find themselves down the wrong end of the table, and I hope they get sorted very quick, because, like we spoke, Devine is a good manager. He does have the club at heart, but he needs to have the players to do it for him, and it kind of doesn't look like that at the minute. But like we've seen, like, things move and change so quickly in this league. they could go out tonight. I hope not personally, but they could go out tonight and hop off Pats and everything's back rosy again. We just, it's things change so quickly. But I'd be worried looking at Friday's performance.
Well, an example of things changed so quickly was Sligo actually winning the other night. I mean, all doom and gloom, no points. Suddenly 3 points and they're up everyone's arses essentially in the league. And things are looking up for them all of a sudden with a positive result. We both went for a draw. We were both wrong. But a lot of people would have went for Derry, I think, to win that game. But funnily enough, I sensed Sligo would win and I kind of chickened out and went for a draw. So trust your gut. Always trust your gut. I just felt, as you said, with the mayhem that was going on Derry during the week, and Devine did well to come out, but at the same time, I think there was a level of desperation. Oh, you better come out and say something or something.
It's all well and good coming out and talking. You need to back her up on the pitch, and he hasn't backed her up on the pitch. So therefore, I think the interview, although it was a great interview and it put things positive, it meant nothing because you need to back her up on the pitch, and he hasn't backed her up. And it's worrying. And like I says, it just makes tonight's game for Derry absolutely vital to get something else.
Big time. We'll get on to that later on with the other games, but we'll move into Dundalk and Pats, which finished 1-1. You predicted 1-1, so that's 3 points for yourself. I predicted 2-0 to Dundalk. I was happy to be wrong, I must say. I'm pleasantly surprised, I have to say, because this is a big blow to Dundalk, first of all, though, I have to say, because as you say, it's a short season. We'll get into it later, but they're now 5 points behind Shamrock Rovers already. And it's a big blow to them. And to be honest, Pat's done their homework here. They press hard. Dan Ward was all over Chris Shields like a rash for most of the game. Didn't give him a minute piece. Benson and Ward's pressing in particular, and the fullbacks press high up the pitch. It was excellent work rate from Pats. Didn't give Dundalk a minute piece. Overall, a very good performance. And I suppose Pats can feel a little unlucky they didn't come away with all three, in my opinion. What do you think yourself?
Before the game, I would have snapped the hands off for a draw before the game. No, but the way the game went and the way we played and the way we had some near misses, the posts and stuff like that, and then the scramble out. I'm very disappointed with a draw, and I never thought I'd say that as a Pats fan up in Oriel, but like a lot of Pats players coming off the pitch, you could see their faces, they were fuming, they didn't get the result there, because I do think Dundalk were there for the taking. At the start of the game, yeah, they were there for the taking up until the 70th minute, but we could have easily lost it towards the end of the game. I think their fitness and their, shone through right through towards the end of the game, and we were lucky enough. I wouldn't say lucky because we deserved the draw.
I wouldn't say, though, that Dundalk exactly threw the kitchen sink in the last 20 minutes. It wasn't exactly backs against the walls. There were a couple of little moments, I suppose.
Yeah.
Logan had a header, didn't he? Probably should have scored, in all honesty. Yeah, but Pats weren't exactly, I wouldn't say they were hanging on, would you, in the last 20 minutes, which was positive to see, considering.
I look at it and I think Dundalk tried to win the battle up front between Hoban and McNally. And I think Dundalk got it right. They did rattle McNally. I think he was a little bit rattled. They were kind of putting the balls in on him. They weren't touching anyone else. And that's smart play from Dundalk. They knew exactly what they were doing. And I think McNally will come out of that game after a draw saying he got away with one. I think he was rattled, but he learned a lot from that game. He's young. He's going to make mistakes. But I think Dundalk done the right thing aiming the ball at him. No, that's not bullying McNally at all. Now,
but he's more inexperienced at this level, to be fair, compared to
they were targeting, and let's be honest, it worked because they got the first goal from a McNally mistake as such. But I thought Benson and Ward in the middle, I think that was just for me, that was a perfect partnership, and one that I honestly didn't see coming. I seen Ward play against Cork. That's the only time I've seen him play, and I was very impressed. I really was. And now I seen him play the other night, and I was saying, this fella is good. Hopefully we can keep his work rate stuff a second to him. In my opinion, I know Benson got the goal, which probably edged him for the man of the match. But my man of the match was Ward. I thought he was everywhere, and he just bossed the midfield. And it's not often Pats go up there and boss the midfield, but I think we won the midfield battle there all over the park.
And at the same time, he more or less stopped Chris Shields from playing as well. I know it's a collective effort, but in general, Ward was the man that was closing Shields down more often than not. And that midfield four, as he said, very industrious as well. You had Lennon, defensive midfield, who'd done a good job. Forrester done well as well at a work rate. He wasn't in the pressing as such, but purposely wasn't in the pressing because Benson and Ward would probably be more suited to that. So he was holding back slightly. So there was a clear plan from Pats that worked, and they did dominate the midfield, and they did get on top of Dundalk there, and kept Dundalk as quiet as you possibly can overall in the match. They're always going to have moments, Dundalk, in a football match. So I
thought Titoff was very good at right full. I thought he had a great game, a great introduction he gave to Pats fans and the League of Ireland as such, and Gibson up front I thought played very well. He's not an out-and-out striker though. I know he played there obviously because I presume I would say Kelly will start tonight, but I think Gibson was kind of thrown up front, hoping to get on the end of something, and let's be real, he done very, very well.
Very well.
I'm looking forward to seeing him playing off the left, because I think he'd be probably better or off the right. I think he'd be better. I think he'd be better than an out-and-out number 9. But like you can't get more positive than a point up in Oriel, considering the way the game went. We probably could have snuck it, but I'm happy with a draw, and I think it'll go a long, long way to keeping us hopefully within the top 4 each.
100%. We'll move on now to Talca Park, and we both went for a Shelbourne 1-0 win here, but turned out that Waterford won 1-0 at Talca Park. I saw this game as well myself, and I have to say Waterford surprisingly impressed me, and not for the first time. You know, Shelbourne looked like the side that were thrown together more than Dundalk than Waterford. Waterford played all the football. I thought Shelbourne, and the complaint I'd have from Shelbourne generally, they seem to pass the ball very, very slowly, and if they go behind, we've said this before, it tends to be long ball and they're out of ideas, and you know it just seems very slow, and a lack of creativity and a lack of threat in front of goal, which is a worry about them, for them, I think. But Waterford, John Martin got the winner, obviously very impressive. I thought they controlled the midfield, and Shane Griffin in particular I thought was very good in there. How did you see it?
Yeah, I think for looking from Michelle's point of view, you've got to be disappointed. You know, I don't think after the lockdown Waterford had, nobody wants to lose to Waterford. I think, I don't know what it could have been, whether it was like, it was just very lethargic, and it was just very like, it was like a pre-season friendly, I think.
Yeah, was a bit.
That's the way the game panned out. I think Waterford, I wouldn't say impressed me. They were just solid. They done the simple things right, and I think that wins games. Like, they got their goal. Second half, it was a game of 2 halves, in my opinion. I thought Shells were on top for the second half without really creating any chances.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, they'd be very disappointed to come out of that with a draw or with a loss. Sorry. I thought, for me, man of the match, I thought now was Matthew Smith, who played on the wing for Waterford. I thought he was really, really good. The way he played, and he just got on the ball, and he was exciting. He ran at them, he targeted them. I thought he was brilliant. Now, I didn't know a lot about Matthew Smith before the game, and I seen him playing. He was brilliant.
Yeah, definitely. I think I kind of watched the game and thought to myself, are people, including myself, by the way, are we overrating Shelbourne a little bit? Are we expecting them to run before they can walk, kind of a thing?
Yeah.
Is staying in the Premier Division ultimately a good season for Shelbourne, basically? If they finish higher, great, but you know what I mean? They have only come up.
They have only come up, but they have only come up after spending a lot of money over the last 2 years. Like I have to say, obviously it'd be a top half finish with the squad they have. A top half finish, it'd be like the target. I would say that should be the minimum. I feel, looking at Shelbourne, with the players like the likes of Kilduff, Ryan Brennan, Carl Shepherd, Gary Deegan.
Mention them there. I thought it was a mistake from the start, in my opinion. I was surprised Kilduff didn't start, because a lot of the balls they played were long balls to Dobbs, and he was isolated, and it just didn't seem to suit him. They did look a bit better when Kilduff came on late on, didn't they? He kind of threw himself around a bit. There was a bit more of a presence up front, let's be honest, wasn't there?
Yeah. No, I thought Kilduff should have started. Now, we don't know what was going on behind it, what Ian's thinking was. and maybe Dobbs had a better pre-season as such, you know. And I think Kilduff probably should have started, but look, if Shell's won, we wouldn't be talking about Kilduff starting. So I think Waterford will be to get out with a result. I think they got Shelbourne. Shelbourne were there for the taking, and they went and they took them. They got the 3 points, and that'll set Waterford in good faith now.
100%. Shamrock Rovers beat Finn Harps obviously 3-1 at Tallaght Stadium. You went with 2-0 and I went with 3-0, so we're a little bit unlucky. We got a point each. We're unlucky not to get the 3 there, really. We're close enough to it. But it was 3-1 at half time. Rovers went 3 up very early in the game, and I felt Finn Harps knew they were going to lose the game. They played like a team that knew they were going to lose the game, I think. It just looked like that, and I suppose from their point of view, that's disappointing. Obviously, they done better in the second half, but then again, Rovers went down a few gears in the second half. How did you see the game overall?
Yeah, it was always going to be a Rovers win. I didn't see anything other than that. It didn't surprise me. Getting the early goals as a neutral watching kind of round the game as such. But look, nobody cares. No Rovers fan, no players going to care about making it nice. I think they played some fantastic stuff in the early stages of the game. They were just zipping the ball around.
Jack Byrne was, you highlight it all the time. It's easy to highlight, you feel, but he was brilliant in those early stages, I thought.
He is. He's different class. I think he's probably, at the minute, he's definitely the best player in the league. I don't think anyone's touching him. Even like the likes of the players that were close, or the likes of Duffy and stuff like that. But I don't think anyone's on Jack Byrne's level at the minute. He plays super. I thought Harps were kind of just, they were trying to keep the score down as such, and they were trying to maybe nick a goal on the bounce, which they did, but I know it was 3-1. But I think that was kind of the aim, keep it tight if you can, and try and nick one on the bounce, and maybe we can give ourselves a fighting chance. Towards the end of the game, they could have had 1 or 2 again. Harps, they came close, and it would have made it a little bit nervy, but Rovers will have to be happy with that. First game back, 3-1 win. They'll put them into next week now.
Definitely 100%. Turner's Cross finished Cork 3-0, Bows 1. You went with 1-1. I actually got this one right. I went for 1-0, but it was an early goal for Andre Wright. Bit of a pre-season style game, this one as well. I thought Cork, I have to be honest, I thought Cork were very poor. I am worried about Cork, and there was not an awful lot on the day to kind of make me change my mind about them,
I thought after lockdown, especially, they would get their act together, but they kind of didn't. It was slow. It was like, I'm sorry, but it's worrying if you're bringing back Alan Bennett to play centre half. It's worrying if you have McNulty there in goal again. Like, he was dropped for a reason. He hasn't played for a reason. Bennett is finished. It's poor from Cork. I'd be very worried now again for Cork.
At this minute in time, it's very difficult to see them not finishing bottom as we speak. Now, that can change, but as we speak...
They were just off. And now, I'm not taking anything away from Bowles. Bowles were solid. We all know what we're going to get out of Bowles. We're going to get a hard working side. They're going to fight for every single ball. They're going to press high. They're going to get on the front foot from a really front. And that's what they did. And Bowles well deserved that 1-0 win, but I don't think they were up against much at all. I don't think Cork actually, a couple of nervy moments towards the end, but you're going to get that when the score's 1-0. I'd be very worried for Neil Fenn and Cork at the minute. It was an awful performance. I'm sorry, but I think McNulty has to go.
In your opinion, he's been a great goalkeeper. I know what you're saying. He has been a great goalkeeper, to be fair. But in your opinion, obviously, as you get older, your reflexes and everything slows down. Everything slows down, But should he have saved the shot, the initial shot now, I wonder? Should he have done better? I know he saved it, but just seemed a bit flimsy or something. I don't know.
He should have saved about 40 shots last year. He should have saved that there. I know I'm being harsh on him, but it's not good enough. Another goal that just reminds me of that one was he didn't save this one, was Ronan Hale for Pats. It was down that side, but he kind of just went over the ball, and I let the ball go under him. Sorry, and I think he's past it. Like, now I don't mind seeing him in the team when Pats are playing Cork. That's for sure. But I think I honestly do. I'm giving him a lot of stick here, but I think it's very warranted, and I think it backs it up. But I think he's everybody else's best player in the league when he plays for Cork, and that shouldn't be. I think Boston has a future there. Well, I think he has to play. McNulty is just awful. And it kind of annoys me. It really does.
I wonder how the Cork City fans feel if you're annoyed, that kind of way. I wonder how they feel.
Well, I can't stand McNulty playing anymore. I think he just makes too many blunders, and he's there now as a goalie coach, and I don't mind him there as a coach.
No, it's a different thing. Yeah.
Mind him there as a coach. He probably knows the stuff as a coach, but he can't start for Cork anymore. If they want to stay up, I'm up. Now this is the team we're talking about that won a double a couple of years ago. If they want to stay up, McNulty and I'd say possibly Bennett needs to stay out of the side. I think.
Especially when, as we said, we're seeing other teams make improvements in the market and improvements on the pitch, i.e. Sligo. Harps are going to be tricky. Waterford maybe look a little bit better than we might have thought. And Cork don't look like they've improved at all. So for me, if they get out of fair play, great results to say for Bowes. You just go down there, as I said before in the preview show, go down, get the 3 points. Kind of minimum fuss, in all honesty, not much energy exerted.
Yeah,
Dundalk for them.
Keith Long demands high standards, and he never lets them drop. He came out and spoke, and he spoke about how the performance wasn't there, and it's fantastic to see a manager do that.
But that performance won't, and this is the problem for Cork as well. He'll know that performance won't be good enough to beat probably not 8 or 9 teams in the league. Yet it was good enough to beat Cork, and that's another obviously worry for Cork. But Bowes know they've got Dundalk next, and we won't go into that until Thursday, properly. But Dundalk are going to be licking their wounds, so as such, and that's a must win for Dundalk. Absolutely must win for Dundalk. So they'll be up against that.
Is a must win. They're 5 points behind. They need to win every single game left. They need to win every game left if they want to keep going. Though I think now, I'm not sure whether they will win every game, but things change so quickly in this league. Like we spoke about, they could go out and hop off Bowes next week and everything's back. You know what I mean? It's strange. I think Dundalk fans need to realise they didn't lose on Friday. I know it feels like a loss at home, but there's a lot of negative comments and stuff like that. But I think it's tough season for everybody. I don't think it's Dundalk's fault that they're lacking. I think Rovers are just that good this year. I don't think Dundalk are bad. I don't think they're a bad side in the slightest. I honestly don't. I think I spoke about it. I don't think Dundalk were bad. I just think Pats knew how to stop them. So I wouldn't be worried if I was a Dundalk fan.
No. We'll go on to the first division before we get into the midweek games as such, and we'll go through the results there. So Galway 0, Cabot Tilly 2, Brave Wanderers 0, Cove Ramblers 0, UCD 0, Longford Town 0, Athlone 1, Wexford 3, and with Rovers B 2, Drogheda United 2. Quickly get into Galway and Cabot. Obviously, we're about wrong there as well. We won't go into detail, but we're about wrong there as well. I think you went for a draw, actually, and I went for Galway to nick it. But Cabot have kind of started where they left off. Knight and Barnes with the goals there. So things are looking good for them already. 12 points. 12 points they have now. They're top. They've won all their matches. A little bit of a gap as well.
I gave them an awful lot of credit in just before the season starts, and I think they deserve it. And some super stuff. Solid, simple passes. I seen the build up to the goal. Nothing too extravagant, just nice and simple. They're getting the result. Everything's going well for them, and we could see them very, very easily in the Premier Division next year.
Could well do. Athlone 1, Wexford 3. Now, we spoke about that. If Athlone were to lose that game, it's hard to see them get many points. They were kind of well beaten in the end as well. Seeing the highlights, and Wexford had a few other very good opportunities they could have scored,
Athlone, look, they don't want to be up there. Well, I'm not saying they don't want it, but they shouldn't be up near the top end of the table. I think that they're building a club. They're kind of it's not a ready-made product. It's gonna take a couple of years before they even start challenging again. But yeah, Wexford to be delighted with that 3-1. If Wexford are gonna beat many teams, they need to beat Athlone. Like we said, these are the games Wexford need to win, and they have done. Now Wexford to be going in now, like they won away. It's always a bonus when you win away. Their next game's at home, so they'll be kicking on now, and they'll be hoping to try and get something down at Ferry Carrick.
It's very funny because they've actually 5 points so far. They got 10 points last season, 38 games. The chances are they'll get more than 10 points in the 18 games this season. Well, I've been very impressed with some of their signs. I think I mentioned that before. I tipped them to win this 2-1, so I was out by a goal. I think he went for 0-0. But, the Doherty's back, he scored. You've got Colleen Simon, who got 2 goals, who I know there's guys down in Wexford rate him. They like him a lot. And they just have decent players, much better than they've had last season. Obviously, the manager, they're more settled as well. So, yeah, it's a cracking result for them. And, they're a good side, I think. We'll move on to the 2-0 nils. Bray nil, Cove nil. Very good result for Cove. I heard they really dug out a result and deserved the draw there. Bray will be a bit disappointed with that one. We both went for Bray there. We were wrong. UCD nil, Longford nil. UCD would be happy with that because not only is it a draw against Longford, but it's a clean sheet, and it's something that UCD really struggled to get in games. We both went for Longford there as well, and again, we were both wrong. We had a shocker this week, do you know that?
Yeah. Kind of had a bit of a shocker. We're going to delete that video.
We can only do better next week, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, no, I was looking. Longford to be disappointed not to get anything out of it.
Absolutely. 3 points, but yeah.
If Longford want to, well, I know they got a point, but if Longford want to be challenging up the top end of the table, they need to be winning their games, especially with the likes of Cabo winning and stuff like that. But Longford to look at it as a point, as a point or 2 points dropped, I would feel, considering Cabo won, and especially like we're going to speak about Drogheda losing, or Drogheda drawing, sorry. So they kind of could have gained a little advantage there. But, I think, it'd be disappointing, especially going to UCD. You'd be looking to win that. Longford side to be superior to UCD's as well. So, a little bit disappointing from that end. But, it's a draw and they didn't lose, and that's a bonus.
Now, obviously, I didn't see the game, but I'm wondering to myself if UCD changed their approach a little bit and did they kind of focus more on defending in that game? Because obviously, before the lockdown, they were beaten 5-1 by Drogheda. They're 4 down after 80 minutes. And I've talked here how when they let in a goal, it just goes away from there's 2, 3, 4 scored. I wonder to myself, and I obviously don't know if UCD did change their style. It's a difficult one, but probably the right thing to do, just to get a bit of a more defensive balance,
Yeah,
Mm.
Clean sheet against the promotion contender, so it doesn't really get better than that from the UCD point of view. Manager will be delighted with that, players will be delighted with that, and a couple of fans will be delighted with that. And I think UCD now will be looking like I said, so you get a positive result, you're looking to kick on, and I think they will hopefully try and kick on. It's going to be tough. Look, they have the facilities, they have everything, but unfortunately they don't have the players. That's a thing. Like, they don't have the ready-made product yet, and when they kind of half have a ready-made product, they go. So
they never have.
Yeah. So I just they'd be happy enough for a mid-table.
I think so. Yeah. So Rovers beat 2, Drogheda 2, and we both went for a handy Drogheda win. You went for 3, I went for 2-0. But a lot of things in this game I want to kind of get into, really. Obviously, Rovers went 2 up in the first 23 minutes. Mark Hughes got sent off after 28 for Drogheda. So for Drogheda to get a point in those circumstances is a great result. Doyle and Birmingham scored a very good goal after 82 minutes to make it 2-2. Context, a great result for Drogheda. At the start, they wouldn't have taken a point. But there's another kind of element to this, is that Rovers seem to play a few first-team players. Now, I know they're allowed to play any under-21 players, but at the same time, you had Liam Scales playing, he scored. You had Williams play as well, and a few others right in the fringes.
Like the 3 goals. The 3 goals for Liam Scales, Brandon Kavanagh, and then Brandon Kavanagh assisted the goal as well.
Yeah.
So, it shows you the quality. look, that's the rule. They're playing. They're abiding by the rules. If that makes them get a few results, that makes them get a few results.
No,
so.
You're right. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, no, you're right. I agree. The rule is there, but I don't think it should be there. I think if you're literally part of the first team squad, there should be a separate registration. And Drogheda could say, well, Liam Scales and Williams didn't play against Longford, for example. So Rovers B had a weaker team against Longford. So it's kind of like, you know what I mean? It's not like Rovers B are going to have their strongest team for that game. They might play a week. You know, it's just...
It obviously gives Rovers an advantage whenever they're playing. It's not ideal situation. It's really not. But, you know, I know the way I'm saying they could feel the weaker side, stuff like that. Drogheda go to Athlone and feel the weakened side, and Athlone win, and then Athlone, or then Drogheda will come to Longford and play a stronger side. You know, it's just the way it is. The rule is there. They're abiding by it. Do I agree with myself? No.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's nothing we really can do with it, you know, and it just shows you though the players that play for the first team were involved in all the goals. So
I have to say I'm surprised that Liam Scales played in it, to be honest, because he would be a real first team player.
Yeah.
Very surprising he played. Williams not so much, because he did actually come on the day before, but you know, he's kind of got Gaffney and he's got Green there, but Scales has been a fixture generally in the other games. You know, it's just a weird one. I know the rule is there, but it's just a bit odd, isn't it? Really, at the same time.
If you're looking at it from a Rovers fan point of view,
oh yeah.
Imagine how good it is, right? To have Liam Scales and Brandon Kavanagh in your B side. No, you look at it that way and you think, Jesus, that's unbelievable. But, you know, if they're using it, yeah, if Pat's had a B side or if any other...
The rule is there, yeah. No, I agree with that, yeah.
I don't think anyone would disagree with it. So the rule is there. Unfortunately, we have to go with it. But it's going to be a different one to pick every week because you don't know who they're going to play. But... it's just a strange rule, but you know, they're getting the results where it's so be it.
That's right. So yeah, Cabinteely top of 12 points. You've Drogheda at 7 and you've Longford at 7, but Longford actually have a game in hand, so the order might change a little bit there, but I can't see anyone breaking into that top 3 even this early. We'll get on to the midweek games now. We've got Pats and Derry tonight, which is a bank holiday. Harps and Shells Tuesday, and Sligo and Waterford on Tuesday. Now, Pats and Derry, big game. We might as well give our predictions for these as well. I've actually gone for Pats to win 2-1. I think Derry are going to come, and I do think they'll be wounded. I do expect far better performance in level of work rate, desire, commitment, etc. They need the likes of Mallon and Figueroa to really perform for them tonight. I think Pats know that they set the standard of work rate, commitment, desire against Dundalk, and they have to hit that level or at least close to that level. And I do think they'll be confident going into it. I think it could be a really good game. But I'm going for Pats to win 2-1.
Yeah, look, this is like last week. I think Pats and Derry was the standout fixture. Or Pats and Dundalk, was the standout fixture in the league on Friday. And I think on this week, a midweek game, Pats and Derry is the standout fixture. It just happens to be that way. It's a very important game for both teams. Look, I know from being a Pats fan a long time, we go and do a fantastic performance like that against Dundalk on the weekend, and then we kind of let ourselves down against, let's so-called, weaker opposition. But it's no, like I spoke about before, it's no good being or drawing with Dundalk on Friday if we don't back it up now on tonight at the game. So Pat to be looking to win it. I think they obviously set a standard for everybody in the league, the hard work and stuff like that. I think they were the standout performers this week in the league for the way they played against a decent opposition. I feel maybe Derry will come. I'm hoping they give more of a game. Let's say for a neutral point of view. Look, you're just asking for the bare minimum. You ask for commitment. You ask for passion. You ask for a bit of fight. You shouldn't even ask for that. That's a given. But I think if Derry fans are asking for that, it's a worry. Like we said earlier on, it's a worry. but I think Pats. I'm gonna go for Pats 2-0 here in this one. I just think we are that little bit more solid at the back as well. I look, home advantage means nothing. It's 11v11 on the pitch.
Yeah.
Home advantage means nothing. There's no 12th man. And I think maybe if you had them fans and you had that 12th man, a lot of the results would have been a little bit different. Maybe Dundalk would have got an extra lease of life and they probably could have beat Pats, and maybe Derry wouldn't have so-called rolled over as such. It's all ifs and buts. But I do think Pats will win it tonight on paper and on the performances that they've been playing. So I'm going to go Pats 2-0.
I should add that Georgie Kelly likely, I'd imagine, will start tonight as well, which will give Pats another element. And I don't think Gibson will be dropped out of the team, by the way. I just think he might be switched out wide or something like that.
Yeah, look, we will be using Gibson a lot out wide now, especially. We spoke so much about Round and Hale, how he's going to fit into the side.
He's gone now, yeah.
And he leaves, and then that kind of just leaves us laughing. But I think Gibbo will play out in the wing tonight. Or maybe, look, they played well. Do you change the team? Well, I wouldn't say a winning team, but I know they got a positive result. Do you change that team?
It depends on, we don't know if players got a knock. There's only been a few days break, and they did put a serious effort into it. So that's up to Stevie O'Donnell to look at that, you know what I mean? But I do think Kelly will likely start, to be honest, because there's not too many games, and, you can't really be introducing them slowly, can you? Let's be honest with you.
Here to play football.
Yeah.
The reason he came, I can't see him not playing, to be honest with you. I think he'll switch Gibbo out in the wing. But no, it's exciting tonight, and I'm looking forward to the game. I'll be doing myself as a volunteer, ball boy or whatever it may be. I don't know yet, but it's there. And no, it's great to get back to a game, and it's great.
King, can you make sure you sing, because you'll be well heard tonight.
I'll be the only one there. No, it's a huge game for both teams. Pats need to back up the performance that they put in last week. Like I said, there's no point in going to Oriel and getting a point if you're rolling over in Richmond at home to Derry. So I'll be looking at Pats 2-0, 100%. 2-0
Pats. Finn Harps and Shelbourne, interesting one at Finn Park. I found it difficult. I've thought about this one more than the rest for some reason, but I came to the conclusion that it'll be a 1-1 draw. I don't know. I think Shells will feel like they have to get something out of the game, and Harps at home are tough to beat and will fancy getting at least a point at home to Shells. I found it difficult to separate them. What's your opinions on it? I think Kilduff will probably start.
There's not a lot to separate top to bottom in the league. I think any team is capable of getting results, but look, Ian has a well-drilled Shell side there. They've had an off day. I think that was probably their only off day they've had since Ian came into the job. I think Shells will get back to business and win a 1-0. I think they got back to business. They have the squad, they have the players. There's no reason why they can't go up there and win.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting one. Now, Sligo and Waterford, the showgrads. I think this is actually an interesting one as well, because Sligo will love to. They'll see this as an opportunity to back up that win, and Derry with a win at home to Waterford. We might be able to judge Waterford a little bit better based on the fact that Shelbourne were so poor at Tolka Park. It's going to be an interesting one to see how they play against. You'd like to think an improved Sligo. Coughlin's in there and been playing well in pre-season. He showed well up in Derry, I felt. Seymour and players of that midfield I thought played very well in that match, and they're good players. I still think we're missing Junior. I don't think he's back to Friday, is it?
He's in quarantine, I think.
Yeah. So he won't be back till Friday.
I don't know.
I know, yeah, you sometimes just have to laugh, don't you, in fairness? But again, I've gone for a fence job here. I've gone for 1-1, but it is very difficult to predict these games. It really is. I mean, you think you know everything, but
on that, I don't see why the player just can't get tested. Then he can play. I honestly, I don't understand the rule.
But doesn't it not take? Don't you not get the results 2 days later though?
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know why they.
I don't understand. Yeah.
I don't know why they can't just test him, and if he doesn't have it, great, you can play. If he does have it, get in there for 2 weeks and relax yourself. But it's a strange one that I would want to have him back straight away. the performance he had last year for Derry, week in, week out, was fantastic, and I'm excited to see him playing this Sligo side the way Liam plays. I think I honestly I just can't doubt Liam at all. You don't have hats, but I always say it. They play beautiful stuff, and I'm excited to see them play now against Waterford. It's great that we can watch the game. We need to mention this streaming service because I think it's just fantastic. I was looking at the Derry and Sligo game in the first couple of minutes. I was putting my hand on my head and it was going off and the sound. I was like, what have I got myself into here? But it was like trying to watch. Now I remember years ago one damn dodgy front row sports streams. It was like watching something like that. But I have to say, second half of the Derry game right through now, the whole weekend has been fantastic. I think.
I've no issues if for the first couple of minutes there, even in the Shelbourne Waterford game, wasn't there a bit of an echo with the commentator at the beginning or something?
Yeah.
I've no issue if that happens in the first couple of minutes and then everything settles down, which it has, let's be fair. And I'd be personally very happy with it. Yeah, definitely 100%.
Like, it's just, for a League of Ireland fan, it's fantastic. I see in 5 games. I only see 1 a week, 2 a week if I'm lucky. I've got to see the 5 games. I'm sitting there. I'm enjoying it, and I think every League of Ireland fan will be the same. But it's that bit of buzz now. You get to watch your team on the telly, and I know it's not there. I know we all want to be at games, but look, even the way the league is set up now with the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that could work. That could work for the future. I think it's something that can definitely work. Whether the early Friday kickoff, I don't think so. The 1:45, but I think they could have 2 definitely at 1:45. But I think I'm liking the concept of all the games. We get to watch them all, and I'm hoping the streaming service can.
I'd love to know, actually, Cian. I haven't seen numbers, but I'd love to know how many have tuned in to the actual, not the televised match, but particularly to the watch LOI.e. Say for Shelbourne and Waterford, how many people actually tuned in and watched that? I'd love to know, or Cork and both. I haven't seen the figures yet, but surely somebody must come out with figures.
People are saying they want this next season.
But you have to have the figures,
No, not only that, clubs need to be careful as well. Let's be honest, if Pats are playing, let's say, UCD, just for example, at home, you've bought your pass.
It's raining, it's wet.
Exactly. Are you going the loyal fans is going to be there no matter what, whether the game's on telly, etc. Like we've seen.
That's the point. You're right. The 50-50 fans are going to. It's a tough one because then you could look at it and say, right, say a 50-50 fan, and using your example, it's raining, it's cold, whatever, like absolutely freezing. They mightn't go anyway, though, even if it wasn't on a stream. So it's a difficult one to juggle, to be honest with you.
What I think the way forward is for that. Personally, this is just me thinking off the top of my head right now. I didn't even have this written down, to be honest with you. I'm just kind of thinking off the top of my head here. And Pats are playing, let's say, Sligo on a Tuesday night in Richmond. You pay a match ticket for the stream, 15 quid. That way, the club's not losing out. Yeah, I know they're probably losing out on gate receipts and stuff like that. But they're getting 15 quid for nobody showing up. And, I think if they done it that way, the home team gets the money directly into, the club. I think that's a way we could look at doing the streaming service or something like that, or even a percentage of it goes to the club. Because, look, I don't want empty stands, and I don't want everyone sitting at home watching it on the telly. So there's a 50-50.
And the other side of it as well is, say if they explore that idea where you're saying they change they keep it the way it is generally, the way you have a match on a Saturday and a Sunday, blah, 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 blah. You might get maybe fans of other clubs, which if they buy the actual pass, because a lot of fans of other clubs actually like watching other teams play in other matches as well. You do it, I do it. Yeah. Loads of other people do it as well. So you might be getting a bit of income actually from, say, a Shamrock Rovers or Derry fan watching St. Pat's versus Sligo.
Yeah,
maybe.
I love it.
It's something to look into, definitely.
Yeah, I love it now, I have to say. I think it's fantastic. But getting back to, sorry, we went a little bit off topic there.
No, that's grand, actually. It's because it's an interesting point, I think that needs to be made as well.
I just think it's fantastic, and I think everyone that hasn't got it, I think should get it. And even if you want to watch the games for a fiver, I would recommend getting it because you won't be disappointed.
Say a few people that maybe were nervous buying it the first weekend, the 55 one, thinking that maybe the streams are a bit dodgy. I say we can carefully say that we're pretty happy with the stream way it works. First couple of minutes, maybe seconds, can be a bit, warbled or something like that, a bit maybe slightly blurry, or the commentary's coming out a bit weird. But that settles down after 2-3 minutes, nearly max, and everything's fine, and it works brilliantly. And, you get to see, it can be an education for a lot of people that maybe wouldn't see an awful lot of the teams, that maybe simply just go and watch their team play, but not actually watch other teams play unless they're playing their team. Yeah. So it can be and as well as that, you're watching a lot of games as a neutral as well. So you can actually sit back and actually watch it in a different light, if you know what I mean, more educational light.
I love it. Like, the only time we get to see a game is if it's on a Saturday or a Sunday. It's no matter Pat's game.
So it'd be any core, or away. Yeah.
And I love it. And I think everyone needs to get it. I think it is the way forward. It's simple. It takes 5 minutes to download, or 5 minutes to sign up and stuff like that. Once you're in, you're in. And look, I've no complaints from it at all. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not sure. I'll find out tonight. I'll try it when I'm in the stand tonight. I don't know. Maybe 30, 40 seconds behind. I'm not sure. But
test it for the laugh,
I'll have a look tonight and see. But personally, I don't care. I'm going to watch the teams play. And, it's fantastic. But going back to the Sligo game midweek, I can't see Sligo winning again. I'm hoping Sligo win. I think Sligo win 1-0. I think Waterford kind of caught shells on the bounce. I think they get a much harder game against Sligo. We have to, let's be real as well. Let's be realistic. I know they won the game 1-0, but they were kind of thrown together last minute, the squad. Curtis Bourne only signed. He's in the team starting lineup. It's kind of thrown together.
It makes that a great 3 points for them, though, doesn't it? The fact that they were thrown together a bit and that, and if they can,
they were thrown together and they went out and they performed. They got the 3 points. That's all you can ask for. And I think they done the same up in Inchicore first day of the season. That squad was thrown together.
I would say that was a little bit different because I think they got away with one a little bit there, if I'm honest. I think Pat dominated the game, but they were comfortable-ish against Shelburne, you know what I mean? There was Shelburne weren't really a threat in that sense, and probably deserved to win the game because of that.
I think, I do think that on Tuesday, I think Sligo will have a little bit more quality, and I think I'll go for 1-0 Sligo.
1-0. So we've gone for, I'm trying to see now, the only matching result is the Pats result, but you went 2-1. You went 2-0. I went with 2-1. So we're actually different than the other one, so that's going to be interesting as well. So Cian, here, we'll leave it there, and we'll be back on, I suppose, Thursday or Friday. We'll be doing the preview and predictions for the weekend ahead. So I'm looking forward to that, and we'll look back at some of the results midweek as well. So cheers for coming on as ever.
No, but thank you.